Gary, in the 2016 future of planning, budgeting and forecasting research that you did, you started at sort of the basics of things like how they're using cloud technology and how the process is developing. In 2017, you went further on terms of process developing, but also looking at things like AI and advanced analytics. So how do you measure that forecasting performance, and just how are the finance organisations that you're getting that information from performing?
So we look at the performance of the planning, budgeting and forecasting process in 3 dimensions. First of all, we look at the speed of it. How long does it take us to reforecast the entire organisation? Then we look at the accuracy, how near plus or minus 5% do we get to our forecast earnings and revenue. And then I think what is really important about forecasting is how far out into the future can we see. So it's those 3 dimensions: speed, accuracy and distance out on the time horizon. How far out can we see? And when it comes to how well is the modern finance function performing against those 3 dimensions, we see a very sort of mixed result. Half of us, incredibly, can't see out further than 6 months. Around about 40% of us struggle to turn around a forecast in under a week. Again, 40%, only 40% can get to within plus or minus 5% of forecast earnings or revenue. So we're not exactly covering ourselves in glory. There is a huge opportunity for improvement in the planning, budgeting and forecasting process.
So Gary, in terms of the performance, what we have seen in terms of forecasting is an increase in the number of companies that forecast more than twice a year. 56% in 2016, 71% now in 2017. So what's going on?
So it's a very dramatic increase. I've already said that we saw very little improvement in the actual measures of how well we're doing in forecasting. But the one thing that did change very dramatically this year was the frequency of forecasting. And you've got to ask yourself, why is that and is it effective? The first point is that I think people are reacting to uncertainty. Brexit, Trump. There's plenty of reasons to be nervous about the economy right now. And what people naturally do when they're uncertain about the future is they forecast more frequently. And that's what you're seeing, very dramatic increase in the frequency of reforecasting. But actually, are we achieving anything? We call it at FSN the hamster wheel effect. So people are running faster and faster, spinning the wheel faster and faster, reforecasting, but they're not actually achieving anything in the way of improvement in the performance of the forecasting, because we've just explained that hasn't happened. So really, I think what is happening is people are taking comfort from the fact that they are reforecasting more frequently. They can say, in the face of uncertainty, to the rest of the board of management, we're doing something. We're on top of it. We're reforecasting more often, but they're actually not deriving any deeper insight because they're not doing anything differently.
Right.
They're just doing the same process more and more often. So they're deluding themselves, in effect, that they're actually achieving something when in fact the research shows they're not.